These are the NBA players whose careers ended in total disaster. We start our tragic list off with a man who is literally larger than life, Yao Ming. The youngins only know Yao as one of the tallest NBA players ever, but anyone who's ever watched just one of his games knows he was way more than that. Standing at 7'6", Yao Ming was so good it seemed like he was made in a lab. Yao came into the NBA as the first overall pick of the 2002 draft after spending the previous 5 years playing pro basketball for his hometown team, the Shanghai Sharks in the Chinese Basketball Association. With the obvious advantage of his height combined with his insane versatility, everyone was sure he was going to be an all-timer.
New York has gone 3.5 minutes without scoring. Yao Ming with a block, and Alston back the other way, lost control of the ball momentarily. Yao Ming down the lane!
And it pretty much looked like it. Yao finished his first year with an average of 13.5 points and 8.2 rebounds per game, was second in the NBA Rookie of the Year award voting, behind a certain Amare Stoudemire, got his first All-Star selection and was a unanimous pick in the NBA All-Rookie First Team selection. He became even better in the following 2 seasons, getting 2 more All-Star selections, but then it all went down. With the start of the 2005 season came trouble as Yao developed osteomyelitis in the big toe of his left foot and had to get surgery done. He missed 21 games that season due to his injury, but still did enough to get another All-Star selection. And sadly, that was the start of a trend that'll last for the remainder of this dude's career. He had a left foot fracture early in 2006, completely shattering his right knee later in the same year, needing to surgically replace his left ankle a while later.
Until today, I feel this foot is almost like completely numb on the top of my foot right there.
Really?
Yeah.
And missing the entire 2009-10 season. It was just one injury after the other until eventually he had to call it a day on his career in 2011. By the time of his retirement, Yao Ming had been voted as an All-Star in every season he ever played an NBA game, and was averaging 19 points per game, 9.2 rebounds, and 1.9 blocks. He has since been inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame and, till date, ranked 6th in total points and total rebounds in the Rockets franchise history. Dropping these numbers as an injury-prone center just shows how insanely good this guy was. On the bright side, we got to see 8 seasons of Yao Ming, so everyone remembers the 2002 number 1 draft pick, but the number 2, let's just say he wasn't as lucky as Yao. Jay Williams.
That was good. Yeah, that's good. Count it.
Jay who? You'd be forgiven for not knowing who this guy is, and that's got nothing to do with how good he was on the court, and has everything to do with how quickly his career was destroyed. The Chicago Bulls selected Jay back in 2002, just after the Rockets named Yao Ming as the first pick. Williams was coming off of one of the best college careers in basketball history, having spent 3 years balling it out at Duke. When it comes to college awards, Jay Williams won it all. ACC Tournament MVP, ACC All-Freshman Team, 2 times First Team All-ACC, 2 times Consensus First Team All-American, 2 times NABC Player of the Team, 2002 National College Player of the Year, and the grandest prize, the NCAA Championship in 2001. This guy was consistently the best point guard any team could ask for.
There's where Young's inability to hit the short jumper. Look at Williams fly.
He kinda struggled to find similar consistency in his rookie year in the NBA, but he remained a regular for the Bulls, and by season's end, his 9.5 points, 4.7 assists, and 2.6 rebounds average was enough to earn him a spot in the All-Rookie second team. But on the night of June 19th, 2003, tragedy struck. Jay was going pretty fast on his Yamaha YZF R6 motorcycle in Northside Chicago when he crashed into a streetlight. With no safety wears on, the accident left him with a fractured pelvis, a severed main nerve in his leg, and 3 torn ligaments in his left knee, including the ACL. The injury was so bad he had to spend months learning how to walk again.
This is obviously where I had 100 staples in my leg here. When I walk, it's like this. So, I mean, to retrain yourself how to walk like that, and then let alone try to run like that, and then just for it to become secondhand nature, it took a long time.
And while he apologized to the Bulls organization and promised to come back stronger, he never quite did. He actually got hooked on painkillers for a while, but he has since turned his life around as a TV presenter, but never again on the NBA's hard floor. Moving on, we have Penny Hardaway. Now on paper, this dude shouldn't make this list, seeing as he spent 14 seasons as an NBA player. That's just as much as most regular players can use before they start to decline and eventually retire. But that's the thing, Penny wasn't a regular player. And despite what the records say, the NBA only had the real Penny Hardaway for 5 seasons. This is a dude who was able to change the mind of the entire Orlando Magic organization to pick him over Chris Webber with just one workout session. After coming in as the 3rd overall pick in 1993 from Memphis, Penny hit the ground running with an NBA All-Rookie First Team and runner-up for Rookie of the Year worthy season. What could have been the partnership for the ages between Penny and Shaquille O'Neal didn't quite work out due to Shaq's injury in '95 and eventual departure to the Lakers. But Hardaway proved to be more than capable.
Yes, sir. It is Penny time. Hardaway, hammer time.
The Anthony Penny Hardaway show has begun.
Does he have moves or what?
Here's Hardaway. Oh, my beauty. Oh, baby.
Between the 1994 and 1997 seasons, he averaged over 20 points per game and about 6.5 assists, and got the All-Star selections in all these seasons. But even more paper shows that 1998 marked the last season where Penny could even be considered a top player. Hardaway sustained a devastating left knee injury that required surgery early into the season, and quite frankly, that was it. It was really from one knee injury to another, and we never got the same Hardaway ever again. Even moves to the Phoenix Suns, New York Knicks, and eventually reuniting with Shaq in the Miami Heat couldn't help. All we got were glimpses here and there, but his arthritic knees got worse by the year until he couldn't even muster 10 starts in a season. Penny Hardaway eventually retired in 2007, and we've definitely got to give the man credit for not calling it quits earlier.
You know, basically that was my mentality, because I had already been in the league and established myself. But quickly playing the Bulls, you could just tell he was rusty, but you could tell he was a bad dude, man. The respect was always there. But my thing was, you have to attack him before he attacked you, but all we did was piss him off.
But his career definitely is one of the fastest declining careers ever. A very close comparison to Hardaway's downfall is the career of former Detroit Pistons shooting guard Grant Hill. 3rd overall pick just like Hardaway, but the hype and expectations on Hill's shoulders were even greater. Don't let his composure on the CBS channel fool you. Back in the 90s, everyone thought Grant Hill would be the next Michael Jordan. From coming out of Duke as the 1994 ACC Player of the Year, a 2-time NCAA All-American, and a 2-time NCAA champion, to co-winning in the 1995 NBA Rookie of the Year award, the comparisons didn't seem far-fetched. And it didn't stop there. Hill's 1996 average of 21.4 points, 7.3 assists, and 9 rebounds is something only he and Larry Bird have ever done, and in the seasons that followed, he only got better.
Buckle up! Oh, my!
What a play by Grant Hill.
That was spectacular.
Grant Hill. Oh, my!
In his first 6 seasons, Grant Hill was averaging 21.6 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game, and had made the Eastern Conference All-Stars team 5 times. However, moving to Orlando at the turn of the new millennium really messed him up. Hill sustained an ankle injury, which he struggled with until 2003.
Grant Hill is grabbing that right leg, and he is in some serious pain. This is the 4th time already in the first quarter that he has crashed to the ground. And this appears to be pretty serious.
When he had surgery on the ankle, but rather than get better, the surgery resulted in actual life-threatening complications that forced him to miss the entire 2003-04 season. Averaging almost 20 points and 5 rebounds in what was a disappointing season for Magic raised all hope that Grant Hill could come back to his best. But not quite. He'd go on to struggle with recurring injuries until he eventually retired in 2013. For a tiny idea on how bad his falloff was, Hill averaged 13.1 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game in his final 12 NBA seasons, which is merely half of what he did in his first 6. If only that ankle didn't give up on him, right? Just before we go, we have one last career to look at, that of Amar'e Stoudemire. When a player wins the Rookie of the Year award despite coming in as the 9th pick in a draft class that had both Yao Ming and Jay Williams in it, you know he's not one to mess around with. Coming into the NBA as a prep-to-pro player, everyone expected Amar'e to be a top player, but what we got was more than just that. And what makes him more special than the other guys on this list is that the first injury wasn't able to knock him out. In fact, Amar'e had 5 of his 6 All-Star seasons after having to undergo microfracture surgery on both his knees during the 2005-06 NBA preseason, and missing nearly the entire season. The Phoenix team he found himself on wasn't all that, but Amar'e seemed to have gotten some boost from the surgery and went on to average about 24 points and 9 rebounds in the first 5 seasons following the surgery. Mind you, he had to undergo eye surgery and move to the Knicks during this period, and somehow he still delivered. Eventually, the honeymoon period was over and his knees gradually got worse until he was forced to announce his retirement in 2016. Amar'e did spend the next 4 years balling the hell out of the Israeli Basketball Premier League Championship, but real OGs know that injury deprived the world of a could-have-been GOAT.